time you meet here, I'm gonna go see.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, that's good.
right. So I'm thinking I'm okay.
Right. They probably were. They were probably sitting in my office.
What time does the coup kick off?
The what?
What time is the coup?
7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think I signed the one. It was Rudy and I was
Are we live? Are we live? Already? That's
Hi, how are you, Chief?
all right, how are you? Yeah, real nice crap.
In the back, fucking
Who's that?
some gal from Hawthorne who worked at AAA for Dave Hughes. I said, I just left Dave Hughes an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
I was back with your head. You get some in your shirt.
Go ahead. My shirt?
Yeah, I said, don't move. Don't move. Don't be in space. Somebody kissed you.
Well, maybe it's probably like you get a hug from somebody with face makeup on. It winds up on your jacket. Thanks, Tom.
They were stuck in his office. They were waiting for his sickness. Yeah. So we'll all have one signature.
Yes.
How are you? Hi, Pete.
Hey, Scotty.
Oh, I'm up there.
Oh, nice, you're
Oh,
up there.
I take pictures of my mom.
I haven't gone past James Wade. I just know Joe was Joe Bell was the new contract.
Rob, what's going on?
Okay, I'd like to call the 7 p.m. work session meeting to order. Anna, can we have a roll call, please? Matt, can we have the roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Boonstra?
Here.
Mr. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Melchiong,
Here.
Mr. Shanley.
Here.
Mayor Madigan.
Here. Reading of the open work session statement, please.
This regular work session meeting of the Wyckoff Township Committee is now in session. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting appears on our annual schedule of meetings. A copy of said annual schedule has been posted on the bulletin board in Memorial Town Hall. A copy has been filed with the municipal clerk and has been posted on the municipal website. A copy has been emailed to the Record, Ridgewood News, and North Jersey Herald News, all newspapers having a general circulation throughout the Township of Wyckoff. At least 48 hours prior to this meeting, the agenda thereof was similarly posted, filed, and emailed to said newspapers.
Okay, Finance Committee, all documents signed.
Almost will be done after
working
this,
on it.
after, between the meetings.
All right, got that. Okay, can I have a motion to open the meeting, 10 minutes, 2 minutes per speaker? Any topic that may feel may be of interest to the residents of the Township of Wyckoff.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra,
Yes?
Mr. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong,
Yes.
Mr. Shanley.
Yes.
Mayor Madigan.
Yes.
With an affirmative vote, the motion's approved.
Okay, please come forward if you wish to address the governing body. If you're watching us, you can call in at 201-891-7000, extension 2220. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
Can you give us your name and address, please?
Sure. My name is Barbara McDonough. I'm at 6 Bush Lane in Wyckoff. I came here today because I would like to respectfully request our street to be paved. I have been living there for the past 21 years. I have been maintaining the street myself along with other neighbors due to the fact that we were told it was a private street. It is Bush Lane, and from what I understand, anything with a lane or that is a town street. But if it is in the books as a private street, I would like to request that it become a town street. And the street is in disrepair. It is a gravel street. I have maintained it every time a plow comes down. The stones go to the end of the dead-end street. Every spring comes, I get my wheelbarrow, shovel, fill it, dump it in the street so we don't have craters. It has, at this point, I'm getting older. Financially, I am, paying for stone every year, gravel to be put down, somebody to come in and put it down if I'm unable to do it myself. It's very dangerous and it's hazardous. We do have a child that lives, there's a couple children in the back, and one of them has autism. The bus now refuses to come down the street to pick up the child. So now the child has to wait closer to Goffel Road, which is a busier street, which is a main concern. Now, of course, us neighbors, we all look out for each other. And, I say, do you need help? Anything like that. He's autism in a child is very sketchy. Sometimes they'll run, sometimes, they'll scream, sometimes they ignore you. So my concern is for them as well. Every so often, not often, we have an ambulance come down or police car for some reason. When I moved in 21 years ago, it was private. It was very private. There was nothing but woods and a couple houses. Now that the strip mall has been there for 10 plus years now, we get a heck of a lot more traffic. We get deliveries for the people that have the businesses in the back of the strip mall. We have people that miss the strip mall entrance and come down our street and turn around in our driveway or just on my grass or wherever. So with the concern also is these craters in the street. They carry diseases. Still water. You have mosquitoes that cause West Nile, of course, and malaria, and that could be. If an animal drinks it, they can get leptospirosis, which is a disease that can be spread to humans. So these are my concerns. It's dangerous and it's becoming a really bad safety issue. For not only that, I spent a couple $1,000s just getting my cars fixed because of the craters. You know, the ball bearings and the struts, they're shot a couple $1,000s later. And plus I'm spending money for the street. You know, I am a taxpayer, you know, and it is a small street. We don't expect miracles, and I'm just requesting that respectfully if we could have that paved.
Okay, could you, before you leave your name, address, and phone number with Anna here? We'll look into it, what the status is, and we'll get back to you with some sort of an answer.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Anybody else wishing to address the governing body?
Seeing and hearing no one else, I move to close public comment.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
Mayor Madigan?
Yes.
With affirmative vote, the motion's approved.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, now we have a very special moment for Lou Rizzo. We're gonna bring him up after we do a nice proclamation on behalf of the governing body. Lou, you got a lot of friends. These are just some of them. Many friends, and we're happy that in 48 hours, you're gonna be 95 years old. God bless you. So I'd like, so I'd like to read this proclamation, then we'll have you come up, say a word or two, and take some photos. So, whereas Louis Anthony Rizzo was born in East Harlem on March 23rd, 1928, the 14th child of Rose and Pasquale Patty Rizzo, and whereas Lou Rizzo attended New York City public schools until the 8th grade and became hooked on boxing and joined the club fighters at the age of 12. And whereas ever industrious, he sold newspapers and shined shoes outside a Radio City Music Hall on Sundays. And whereas Lou entered the Merchant Marine, enlisted in the Merchant Marines, and sailed on oil tankers from New York to Port Arthur, Texas. And whereas he joined the Army in 1951, serving in Germany, where he became the sports director at the Bavarian base, having and running programs for baseball, football, and boxing. And whereas Lou himself actually won a boxing championship while serving in Germany. And whereas once stateside, Lou fell in love and married Dolores Montevecchi at Nativity Church in Millen Park in 1956, and the couple moved to Wyckoff to begin their lives together. And whereas Lou joined the Wyckoff Volunteer Fire Department Company 1 on November 6, 1957, and whereas in a bold career move, Lou started a shoe business in Wyckoff doing repairs, and this began in 1958, first located on Franklin Ave, and then becoming a fixture on Main Street. Whereas while establishing and growing the shoe repair business, Lou and Dolores made many connections and friends, becoming immersed in the Township of Wyckoff while raising their 4 children, Louis, Larry, Laura, and Lisa. And whereas family has always been a proud moment for Lou, great priority, he can often be heard boasting about his great-grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. And whereas known to all as Lou the Shoe, his dedication and 65 years of service to our community and as a volunteer firefighter is commendable. And whereas Lou was always on hand for inspections to make sure the equipment was in tip-top shape, and to this day, Lou is still a fixture at Fire Company 1, making weekly Monday meeting night training sessions. And whereas Lou has a tremendous sense of humor, quick to share a joke, always the life of the party, first to arrive, last to leave, never missing an opportunity to shake things up. And whereas Lou is a self-acclaimed ladies' man, leading the ladies on the dance floor, each year at the annual firefighter dinner, and could give Fred Astaire a run for his money. Now therefore, be it proclaimed by the Township Committee of the Township of Wyckoff, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that the Township of Wyckoff sincerely thanks Lou Rizzo and recognizes him for his friendly and warm spirit and his dedication and long-standing service to the Wyckoff Volunteer Fire Department and to our community as we celebrate Lou on the occasion of his 95th birthday. We got a little proclamation here, then we're gonna have you say a couple of words.
Where's the check?
Thank you for making me look tall. There you go, Lou. Are you gonna say something?
Maybe I will.
Okay.
You know, this is a great thing for me. I never thought that I'd ever be standing in front of an audience and getting applause. They usually throw tomatoes at guys like me. But everything worked out well with the fire department. I want to tell you something. The people of this town should only really take a real good look at what these people do for this town. I know you guys also work free and you break your arms like everybody else, but this fire department is second to none. They work so hard. It's not just going to a fire. It's working 7 days a week. If you go to that firehouse, you'll always see guys doing something to protect the people of the Township of Wyckoff. But not only the protection of the people of Wyckoff, but to maintain these equipment. Keep this equipment in good shape. It takes an awful lot of time. And people that knew hardly anything, and they really gained a lot, and they did a lot. The people of Wyckoff should be very proud, but not only the Township of Wyckoff, but all the towns around here that have these volunteers. They should really stick up and make some noise sometime and say, we love you people. We thank you very much for coming out and putting out our fire. And we want to thank you very much for doing everything you can for the people of Wyckoff. Well, I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the council for recognizing me. This is the only time I ever get a chance to really give you a heck. Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And I hope one day I'll run against you.
All right. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a picture with Lou and the governing body. Then we're gonna ask everybody to come up and we'll take a picture with Lou. It's a really special occasion. Well said, Lou, and thank you to all our volunteer firefighters.
Congratulations, Lou.
Hold your proclamation.
Okay.
No, it's not upside down. They love you, Lou.
Lou, you can hold him.
Thank you.
All right, come on, let's all get a nice picture. Lou, move forward.
You know, when he joined the fire department, he was 6 feet tall. I worn him down.
Everyone's gonna get behind us. Congratulate Lou if you want. Come on, ladies. Everybody knows who's tall.
He was as tall as Scott.
That's a great spot.
You realize if you can't see the camera, you're not in the. Come back up here.
Joey.
Tall people up here.
Keep going down. Keep coming down.
Tall people. I'm not sure.
Joe, stand in the chair, Joe.
Camera.
Should we give it to the shortest person to take a picture?
1, 2, 3.
Just stop shoving paperwork.
Pete, I think you get a kick of that. Can't read the print unless I take my glasses off. So, Anna and I had to do a lot of cut and pasting, right, Anna? No one knew.
20 minutes worth.
One of those printers with the big paper.
It was nice. It was a good
Very
print.
nice.
Character.
Nope. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't thinking straight. That's all. Oh.
Sheets closed.
Still got it, man. Okay, business administrator, can you give us a review of the 8 o'clock meeting, please?
Sure, we have a number of resolutions of substance and different than normal. Resolution 156 authorizes taxes to be canceled per a tax exemption for 417 Flaker Drive. Similar to that, 157, same exemption for 757 Janice Court. This evening we'll be introducing our municipal budget. 158 authorizes the self-examination of our municipal budget, which means that the Division of Local Government Services does not have to do an in-depth examination. And this is due to our good financial outlook as determined by our annual financial statements, which were filed earlier this year. 159 authorizes me to be the temporary municipal clerk for this evening. 161 authorizes a private store extension agreement, developers agreement for 301 Wiley Place. 162 authorizes an update of the performance bond and release of certain bonds for Gallant Camp Corp. Blocks 436, lots 29, 31, 32, and 33. 163 authorizes the award of contract for contract 2023-02, which was the turnout gear extractors and dryers for the fire department. Again, this was purchased on the 2022 firefighter grant from the state of New Jersey. And 164, similar to the resolution we passed at a previous meeting for Christian Health, this authorizes the endorsement of Hope Christian Services Community Development Block Grant application for the Bushman Building HVAC upgrades and modifications. Ordinance 1978 will be introduced tonight, will be considered for introduction tonight. It's an ordinance to exceed the municipal cap appropriation limit and to establish a cap bank for the 2023 budget year. This is a standard resolution we pass every year, which is required to be introduced prior to the budget being introduced and adopted prior to the budget being adopted. So there will be a change in the order of the meeting for the next meeting, just to make sure that this ordinance gets adopted before the budget gets adopted at the next meeting. And also on non-consent for this meeting, Resolution 165 authorizes the introduction of the 2023 municipal budget, and Mr. Mayor and Mr. Melchione, our Finance Committee members, will go into more detail on that. As to the administrator's report, moving into the next item, we are currently out to bid for tree removal and pruning, which is due back on March 28th. Animal licensing is due by the end of the month. At this our free rabies clinic, which we had this weekend, we had 122 dogs and 21 cats were vaccinated. What else do we have? The spring newsletter is complete, was put in the mail last Thursday. It should be arriving in mailboxes, if it's not there already, tomorrow or the next day, depending on our lovely postal service. And as I already mentioned, Mr. Madigan and Mr. Melchione will cover budget items, but I do want to thank the department managers, the Finance Committee, Diana McLeod, Fran Piscaldo, and their help for preparing this year's budget. And information is still posted online and on our social media with regarding to the Memorial Day banners. If you're interested in purchasing one to recognize a friend, a loved one, a family member, they are $160 a piece, and information is available on our website. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, maybe we'll skip to the township attorney, then we'll come back to the township committee. If you're ready, Rob? Do you have
Always
anything?
ready.
Do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just signed off on a developer's agreement for sewer extension. I think that was Wiley Place. Yeah, that might be right. Still working on the zoning ordinances that we hope to introduce with the amendment to the reexamination. And for now, that's about it.
Thank you for being short. Okay, township committee, member reports. Pete, want to lead us off tonight?
Thank you, Mayor. Last night, the Environmental Commission met. They have a busy April coming up, starting with the composting workshop, April 1st, 10 a.m. at Russell Park. I encourage everyone to attend. I attended it 2 or 3 years ago. I actually bought a composter, which I do use, and there will be some for sale. Next, on April 15th, we have our paper shredding, styrofoam, recycling, and metal collection, which will be taking place down at the DPW garage. And then on April 22nd, we have our annual Team Up to Tidy Up. So the Environmental Commission will be pretty busy in April. Fireworks Committee met last week, and the planning is moving along with our fireworks in September. DPW started field prep. They also started construction on the press box down at Memorial Field, and spring leaf collection scheduled to start April 3rd, weather permitting. Fire department had 139 calls year to date, and I purchased my ticket today for Fire Company's 3 wine tasting fundraiser, which will be held on April 6th, and hope to see everyone there. It's a great event to help them raise some money. And budget. You want me to go budget? 'Cause it's
Well, let's wait for the
gonna
budget meeting
piggyback
later.
into
Yeah,
you.
we'll do that, we do
Yeah.
budget meeting later.
And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Rudy?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'll be brief, not too much. I attended the rabies clinic last Saturday. It's a good event. Actually, the new rabies clinic mode of operations is one of the positive things to come out of the pandemic, because it's a drive-through now. And it actually works much better than the old dog on a leash, cat in a cage type of a thing. So it was good. We had a good time. We had good weather, and it was a successful event. I thank everyone who attended, and all the volunteers we had. On March 30th, Ridgewood Water will appear at a special meeting of the Planning Board regarding the Cedar Hill Avenue, or the Cedar Hill well field PFAS treatment plant. That's a special meeting the Planning Board is having on the 30th this month. And the re-exam that Rob alluded to will be at the Planning Board on, I think it's the 3rd Wednesday next month. It'll be the 19th of April. And we need to have, just as a heads up to everyone, a discussion regarding sewer projects and the type of pipe we use, because we've always used ductile iron. That's kind of getting pretty expensive now, and if we're going to continue to supply pipe, we need to have a discussion on it. So Mark and I are working on some figures on that I'll get back to you in the next 1 or 2 meetings. That's all I have, Mayor.
Tim?
Thank you, Mayor. Rec Board met, just reported on the travel basketball ended, and it ended with 2 8th grade teams winning their team championship and 1 7th grade girls team winning their championship. So it was a good end to the travel basketball season for Wyckoff basketball. Ramapo Indian Hills Board met. They introduced their budget. They proposed a 3.3% increase and went into their bank cap. The budget was $55.5 million budget. They blame the increase on employee benefits and special education increases. The average Wyckoff home of $803,000 would go up about $18. So that's the effect it would have on the Wyckoff taxpayers. The zoning board met. They only had 1 application that was heard. It was heard and granted for Lincoln Avenue. It was a 1.5 story house, which changed to a 2. It was a pre-existing nonconformity, and no new nonconformities were created. Pete touched on the fireworks committee, and the only other thing I have to report on is Kevin O'Neill, who is going for his Eagle project, sent an email to Andy Wigfield, our rec director, telling him he wanted to build a bocce ball court at Russell Farms, 60 foot by 12 foot. And it was sent also to Matt, and I said to Matt, we're probably going to have to get some more details from Kevin O'Neill about what he wants to use and whether or not we could do that at Russell. We would need to talk to our attorney, and we would have to get back to him and talk to the rest of the township committee if they want a bocce ball court there. So I don't know if anyone has any feelings on it that they want to share now. If not, that's all I got to report on.
I think we just need a little more information
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, we would
Rob,
need,
Rob and I will do a little bit more research on this and reach
Okay.
out to them with Andy, and we'll get back to you guys.
yep.
Yeah, just keep in mind, we had open space trust fund money.
Yeah, so
Make
we
sure
don't,
it's permitted under
we have
that.
to make sure it's
Yeah.
permitted.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
Coincidentally, I talked to him like a month ago. He said he was gonna do something he wants to do outside. Never said what it was, but
Yeah, well, he sent the email to, Andy Wakefield.
okay, Scott.
Thank you. So we have the Shade Tree meeting. This year's Arbor Day will be April 28th. It's a Friday at 9 a.m. at Coolidge School. Be working with the DPW and the Environmental Commission. Invitations will be going out to all of the governing body and members of the K-8 board there. And it sounds like the kids have got a nice little presentation they're working on for us that day. I think it'll really, a real nice, very similar to what we did when we were at Lincoln School.
Great.
The trees will be harvested from our tree farm, our Arboretum up at Russell Farm. For that event, we're also going to be harvesting a couple of extra trees that we can plant around Wyckoff.
What type of tree is it? Maple?
We have a bunch.
Okay.
I'm going to be meeting with John Dollar, who is the Board of Ed in charge of buildings and grounds, to find the exact location, and then we'll decide what kind of tree it is, depending on the location, the sunlight, and where they want to put it. So we have a little bit of everything. We have some shade trees, we have some decorative type trees also to choose from. So yeah, I think it'll be nice. I also attended the rabies clinic with the mayor and Rudy. Just want to shout out to Anna and all the girls at the office who do a fantastic job of keeping the line moving and doing the paperwork. And without you, it wouldn't be as successful, and thank you. Just a quick question on the Shred Fest. Is it the DPW this year, or are we at the community park? Did you?
It's because it's a the spring one's gonna be a Saturday, and then the fall one will be a Friday, which will be at Community Park.
Okay. Wasn't sure, because the last couple of times we had it at the park.
Right.
Yeah, because it was on Fridays.
I had the same
because of
question, but they
the
flipped.
truck.
They flip-flop, okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Okay, before I do my report, just like to call everyone's attention to Committeeman Scott Fisher. Nice photo up on the wall of
Thank you.
whatever we call it, governing body. Scott, you take a nice picture, very nice. Okay, I got a few things. A week ago, there was a meeting of the mayors of Ridgewood, Glen Rock, Midland Park, and Wyckoff with Ridgewood Water to discuss upcoming summer schedules, need to have residents conserve water. They're very concerned about the summer months as they work to continue to try to eliminate PFAS in the water. Again, we know it's all our goal to have the best drinking water, but the water supply gets lower in the summer, and it kind of doesn't help with the circulation of the water. So, the purpose of the meeting was Ridgewood, along with Ridgewood Water, was reaching out to the three other towns that use their water and looking to us to enforce fines, to get violations, and to do things in each town respectively. So on behalf of Wyckoff, I pledge that we would support all water conservation through e-blasts, social media, and that, because we all care about, we want clean water. Historically, we've not been involved in any enforcement or tickets or fines, and, but we're still happy to remind our residents on the need to minimize the water through public information campaigns. So just bringing everybody up to date on that meeting. Second thing is the newsletter came out, did a great job. Just have a copy of it. It's in the circulation, it's in the mail, so you should be getting in the next few days a lot of information, particularly on the Team Up to Tidy Up Day, new recycling and garbage adjustments that have been put in place to help everybody control cost as much as they could, different information, so please read it, look at it, and really nice job putting that together, all those involved, and thank you very much. The library board met the other night, and it was a very good meeting, and at the end of the meeting, I thank the library board for all of their efforts. It's a really good group of gals and guys, and they really care. They spend a lot of time. They're very diligent. They care deeply about not only their role as members of the library board, but, take such great pride in our library and all that we have to offer and all the people in the community that we reach. So I just want to thank them. We're going to have, they're going to be coming in here the April 18th meeting, where we're going to have a little celebration of Library Week, which is actually the following week, April 24th. So they'll give you an opportunity to see who's who and thank them for all their efforts. Laura Leonard doing a spectacular job, so thorough, put so much time in. So I just want to thank her so much. The rabies clinic, I also attended. We also had, there was also a police committee meeting that we went over a few, dotted a couple I's, crossed a few T's, nothing significant. And the last point is the budget information, which we'll be going into this evening at our meeting at 8 o'clock, when we present the budget and all the time and effort. And I'll thank those involved now, but particular thanks go to Diana, along with Fran, Matt Cavallo, and all those others put so much time and effort into getting us where we are in the budget. We have some good news, not so good news, but we have factual information what we can do. I know that others jumped in, trying to minimize costs any way we can, so we'll be introducing that budget at 8 o'clock, get you more particulars and details. And that's all that I have. Anybody else, or anybody else didn't say something? Wants to say something? Okay, with that,
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
sure, you could, yes.
Well, it's downtime, so.
Well, not for us, for you, Janet.
Janet Toomey, Aspen Lane, 501 Aspen Lane. And I listened to Pete when he was talking about the environmental club, and you're doing composting. Didn't one of you say something not too long ago about not composting because there was the rodent problem for a while in a certain area, if you remember?
Well, if you use if you just put your composting out and just some people actually just build a wooden kind of structure
Open.
and put it in, but the composters that they will be selling at the composting workshop are pretty heavy duty plastic gauge composters with a locking top on it. They tell you how to try to keep, most rodents do stay out of it. Some try to burrow. You could put some gravel, some rock around
Okay.
it. So.
Okay, I just wanted to, because we may have some people that do that. And a lot of people tell me about having a lot of animals in the backyard. Some of them have those night cameras, and they tell me that there's lots of different animals around.
Oh, yeah.
Especially deer.
Oh, the deer are there, no question about those. I mean, they just love to lay down on the patios and, nap in the afternoon and all that. But, but even some other kinds. I'm not sure what they are, so I'm not going to say
I
anything.
mean, is this in addition to lions and tigers and bears? Or?
No.
Mostly there are a lot of possums out there, nocturnal animals, raccoons,
Right.
fox.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and
you
I
know,
wasn't
they're-
sure it was,
yeah.
so I hesitate
Yeah.
to say that, but that's true.
yeah.
So I was
So, but
just
they're all
wondering about
pretty much
the-
stay to themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Well, they
do.
don't seem to bother anybody except the people who now have those cameras that can see them at night. They tell us about it, so.
You should be
Okay.
sleeping.
What you don't know doesn't hurt.
That's right, that's right. Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Janet. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the work session?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Boonstra?
Yes?
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Melchiong?
Yes.
Mr. Shanley?
Yes.
Mayor Madigan?
Aye, yes.
Okay, and the meeting's adjourned at 7:42.
Okay.
That wasn't too bad. This year was great.